Okay, so the topic for today's lesson is movement along the same supply curve, and the second topic is shift in supply curve, right? So we will look into these two topics. Movement along the same supply curve is caused by the change in price. Okay, so there is only one reason for movement along the same supply curve, which is known as uh, like extension and contraction in supply, or it is caused by only change in price. So there is one reason, that is change in price, or it is divided into two types. One is called extension in quantity supply, and the other one is contraction in quantity supply. Contraction. The first thing is that movement along the same supply curve is caused by change in price, and it has two types, extension and contraction. Extension, as the name suggests, is quantity supply increases. Quantity supply increases due to the rise in price. Due to the rise in price. And contraction in supply is caused by the fall in price, where quantity supply decreases due to the fall in price. Fall in price. Okay, so both of them will show movement along the same supply curve. But in case of extension, there will be movement along the same supply curve to the right. And in case of contraction, there will be movement along the same supply curve to the left. Now we can look into the graphs of extension and contraction, right? So if I make the graph of extension and then contraction, right? So supply curve looks like this, that is positively sloped. And this is origin point. On X we have quantity supply, on Y we have price, and this is supply curve. Although it's straight line, but in economics we call curve in case of all of the graphs. So this is quantity supply on X and we have price on Y. Okay, so in case of extension, what happens is price increases and quantity supply also increases. So let's assume initially price was, let's say, $10 and quantity supply was 100 units. And if price increases to, let's say, $15, quantity supply will extend to 120 units. So there will be movement along the same supply curve from point A to B. So this movement along the curve is known as extension. So this is a rightward movement or upward movement along the same supply curve. Moving to the contraction in quantity supply, contraction occurs when quantity supply falls due to the fall in price. Let's say initially price was $10 and quantity supply was, let's assume, 100 units, and we were operating at point C. So now if price falls to $5, quantity supply contracts to, let's say, 50 units. So quantity supply decreased due to fall in price, and it resulted in movement along the same supply curve from point C to D. So this movement is known as contraction, or ये movement leftward है, from right to left, or downward movement. So this is really a simple concept, and I believe Zainab, you understand that. And now moving to the next thing, that is shift in supply curve. Shift in supply curve is caused by the changes in non-price factors, right? So what causes shift in supply curve? Non-price factors. These are the factors other than price, such as like cost of production, right? So such as cost of production, climatic change, technology, change in technology. And similarly, we have other factors like indirect taxes and subsidies that basically cause shift in supply curve, right? So shift is divided into further two types. One is called increase in supply, increase in supply, and then we have decrease in supply, right? So this is decrease in supply. Decrease in supply. Okay. So increase in supply is caused by the fall in cost of production. If cost of production decreases, I'm using COP for cost of production. Then producers will be able to produce and supply more. So as a result, supply will increase. And then we have like subsidy. If government provides more subsidy, subsidy is a financial support provided by the government. So if government provides more subsidy, then again supply will rise. So if cost of production falls, supply will rise. If subsidy rises, supply will again rise. And if technology improves or technology advances, then again supply will rise. So these are some factors that may shift supply curve to the right and increases supply. And now moving to the decrease in supply. Decrease in supply is also caused by the changes in non-price factors, and non-price factors are the factors other than price, such as cost of production. If cost of production increases, then supply will fall, and cost of production like includes cost of raw material, wages of labor, electricity charges, fuel cost, right? So all of these costs are basically part of cost of production. Interest on loan is also the cost of production. So if cost of production is higher, it means now what will happen is producers will be able to produce less, and as a result, supply will fall. And on the other hand, if government imposes indirect taxes, right? So if indirect tax increases, such as custom duties, value-added tax, general sales tax, then supply will again fall, because now producers will have to pay more taxes, indirect taxes, and as a result, supply will decrease. And if technology is outdated, then again, outdated technology will also decrease the supply. So supply will fall, right? So these are some factors that may decrease supply and shift supply curve to the left. Okay. So now we have to make the graphs for increase in supply and decrease in supply. And again, we draw the axis, right? So we have to draw x-axis and y-axis and make an initial supply curve like this, that is positively sloped. This is origin point. On x we have quantity supply, on y we have price. And this is initial supply curve, this is also supply curve. And we have price and origin point, and we have quantity supply on x. So in case of increase in supply, what happens is supply curve completely shifts to the right, right? And in case of supply curve completely shifts to the left, right? So if supply curve moves from S to S1 in figure 1, then supply is increasing. So this shows rise in supply. And on the other hand, if supply curve shifts to the left, it shows fall in supply. In short, you have to keep in mind that whenever there is shift in supply curve completely moves to the right. Whenever there is increase in supply, it completely moves to the left when there is decrease in supply. And both increase and decrease in supply are caused by non-price factors. So non-price factors are the factors such as cost of production, indirect taxes, and technology. And also these factors also shift supply curve, right? So on the other hand, movement along the same supply curve is caused by the change in only price. If price changes, then it causes movement along the same supply curve. And movement along the same supply curve mean we will move on the same line from one point to another point. If the movement is upward, it is called extension, and it is caused by increase in price, right? And if we move downward along the same supply curve, that is called contraction. and it is caused by fall in price where quantity supply also decreases. Okay, so this is really simple concept. I believe you understand that. And in the next class, we will look into the concept of equilibrium. That is really, really important concept in economics. And equilibrium is basically, we can look into the very basic thing of equilibrium, then we will further explain the concept of equilibrium in next class, inshallah. So equilibrium mean equality of two things, right? So this is basically market equilibrium. So market equilibrium takes place at a point where quantity demand is equal to quantity supply, right? So initially we discussed the demand curve, then we discussed the supply curve, and we made the graphs for demand and supply as well. And now we are looking into the interaction of demand and supply curves. When demand and supply curves intersect each other, they will become equal to each other, and as a result, when demand and supply are equal, it is called equilibrium. And how to make the graph of equilibrium? You can simply look into this figure. This is origin point. On X we have like quantity, and on Y we have price. This is demand curve, which is negatively sloped. You already know this graph, and supply curve is positively sloped like this. And this is demand curve, and this is supply curve. The point where demand and supply curves intersect each other, that is point E, that is called equilibrium. And if we drop a perpendicular, then we will get a quantity, that is Q, and we can find price here on y-axis. So in this graph, equilibrium takes place at E, where equilibrium price is P and equilibrium quantity is Q, right? So this is the price that generally consumers have to pay in the market for purchasing a certain product. So if we like define equilibrium, we can say that equilibrium is a market position where quantity demand is equal to quantity supplied. And in other words, we also say that equilibrium takes place at a point where demand and supply curves intersect each other. So I believe this is really simple and you understand that. And further, inshallah, we will further explore the concept of equilibrium in detail and how it changes and how mathematically it is calculated. We will look it into the next class, inshallah. So see you soon, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.